All right, welcome back to the OffBeat Sports Podcast. We're just going to go over some hot takes and topics. So I have one from the NFL.
What, that Michael Thomas is in top 10 or
No.
top?
So I actually heard today that in Vegas, all majority of bets have been placed on Josh Allen to win MVP because his odds are 50-1, but because the Bills could be such like a surprising team in the AFC East, there's a chance that he wins it. So that comes to my first kind of take question for you. Who do you guys think is going to have a better season? Kyler Murray or Josh Allen?
I'll go first. I think it's probably going to be Kyler Murray because even though they both picked up some solid receivers, Kyler Murray got a top 2 receiver in the NFL. And I think with even Larry Fitzgerald, who's getting older, but he can still produce, and he's definitely got the talent. And he's got to go up against some tough defenses in his division with like the Seahawks and 49ers. But I think that gives him a chance to prove himself. And if he can get a wild card spot, that'd be huge for him.
I can agree because I think they have a good running game too. Even though they traded away David Johnson, they still have Kenyon Drake.
The running game has nothing to do with Kyler Murray.
I know, but like Kenyon Drake's they have an overall good offense.
But I would say I'm going Josh Allen. I think he had a great year last year, and even in a more difficult AFC. And I think he can continue that this year with an improved wide receiver core. And I think he'll just overall improve as he gets older and more mature. He learns how to lead his team better, and his team's going to be better. So that'll help.
All right. My second one. You think Atlanta can be an NFC contender?
I don't think so. They've got a pretty stacked division. They got the Saints and now the Buccaneers. And I think the Panthers could also be a sleeper team depending on their quarterback situation and just the rest of their team in general. But I don't see them having a winning record in their division because they got to play 2 games against the Saints, 2 games against the Buccaneers. Both teams are looking pretty good. But I think just if they can get out of their division, I don't think they're a bad team, but their division is just too tough.
I would say they could if they play to their potential, but I doubt they do. So I'm going to go same as Nick. So yeah, I don't think they.
I can agree with you guys. I don't really think it's going to happen because their division is just so – like I know Teddy Bridgewater's not like the most proven guy. Like I know he had a good year like filling in for Drew Brees when he was in there, but I still think that even so, I think the Panthers are going to be, an underdog, but they'll be surprisingly good.
Well, they still got McCaffrey.
Yeah, exactly. And they have some other like talent on that team, and there's no way they're going to come out of that division. So if you can't come out of your own division, then you know what I mean? Like if you can't be top 2 in your division, then you can't consider yourself competing, no matter what division you're in. That leads me into the next question, which is stays in that division for the most part. So you could say the top 3 teams going into next year, arguably, you could say the Saints, the Buccaneers, and the Chiefs. What are the chances that two of those 3 teams go 14-2?
I don't see 2 of them going 14-2 because there's also the Ravens and there's also the 49ers, who you didn't mention, but I think that they could easily be in that top 3, especially if Lamar Jackson can repeat.
I mean, you can add those other teams. You could just take those 5 and say 3 out of those 5 teams.
I don't think 2 of them go 14-2. I think maybe one of them does, and maybe one of them does better. But I don't see 2 of them going 14-2, especially if it's the Saints and the Buccaneers. There's no way they both go 14-2. But I can see the Chiefs doing it because they got all the talent in the world. And I could also see one of the other 2 teams, but I don't see 2 of them.
Yeah, I see one other team's doing it, and I think it'll probably end up being the Chiefs, but I think the Saints are being slept on because of the Buccaneers, but I think the Saints could do it too.
I think the Saints are overrated, obviously. No, I think there's a chance that
we're aware.
No, I think 2 teams could do it, and if I was to pick 2 teams, I think the Saints' defense is just too for me. But I could say the same thing.
It's like a top 7 top 10 defense.
Their secondary is like, eh.
They got Marshawn Lattimore. He's very underrated. I could see.
Oh, I know he's underrated, but it's not one guy. Like, I think we can.
It's not one guy. You're right, but the defense is all around solid.
If I had to pick two of them, I would say Chiefs, and then I would go Saints. But I still think the Bucks. I still think the Bucks could do it.
Yeah, they have potential.
Or the
Bucks could do it, but I think.
But if I had to, honestly, thinking about it, if I had to pick one out of the top teams outside of those three, Ravens, because their schedule is going to be super easy. So
yeah, I could definitely see the Ravens having another huge year, just because for a guy like Lamar Jackson, it's not that hard to repeat when you're that athletic and agile, because
especially because he's young still. It's not like he has wear on him.
And teams really haven't figured him out.
Yeah, and maybe they will, but it's different when you're a throwing quarterback.
He started to show last year that he can pocket pass and he can throw and he can actually read and he can actually make reads. So if he can
figure out what he's doing, he can adjust.
I'm saying, I know, but I'm saying we're agreeing. Yeah, if teams try to stop his run, even if they do, they could just pass and they can still be a really good team. So no matter what, I still think that they could, out of all those teams,
who's that receiver, that young receiver they got?
Hollywood Brown.
Yeah,
Marquise Brown.
Yeah, he's solid.
So the next one, this is the last one.
They got Mark Andrews too.
Yeah. This is the last of like the hot takes one for the NFL. I can probably come up with some player ones afterwards, but what do you think about the Rams? What do you think about them potentially being one of the worst teams in the league?
I wouldn't say they're one of the worst teams in the league. I think they're towards the bottom, but I mean, I think they have some, especially in the receiving core, they have some talent, and their defense isn't bad either. It's just a matter of how Goff can perform, really.
Mm-hmm. Especially losing Gurley hurts. Even though
didn't they lose Brandon Cooks too?
Yeah, even though he didn't have a great season,
they still got Cooper Kupp.
Still very.
Where did they trade him?
Houston.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, they traded him to Houston. Yeah.
But no, I think even though they lost Gurley and he didn't have a great season last year, I think that's still a huge loss in their running game. So, I mean, I think they'll definitely hurt, but I don't think it'll be horrible.
All right. So now I have some.
Hold on. I'm going to shout out Bobby Olsen here. So let's hear Drew Brees versus Aaron Rodgers.
I'm taking Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Even with Michael Thomas, who I'd call the best receiver in the league. I know Vosi, you might have something to say.
Best receiver in the league.
Even though he has him, he's still one of the best regular season quarterbacks of all time. He only has one ring, and no MVPs. But I'm
not taking anything away from Drew Brees. Like I don't think Drew Brees is overrated or anything of the sort.
You just think Michael Thomas is overrated
because he's the one guy that Brees throws to consistently. If anyone had Drew Brees as their quarterback, you imagine what kind of numbers they would put up every year. Imagine if Hopkins had a quarterback like that every year. His numbers would be
Hopkins is a top 2 receiver anyway.
Yeah, Watson's not bad either, but
I'm saying earlier in his career, leading up to that. If he had a Brees quarterback his whole career like Thomas has had, imagine what kind of stats he would put up.
Still. But he has in DeAndre Hopkins. That doesn't mean Michael Thomas would be bad on another team. Like DeAndre Hopkins is good on the teams he's been on. And put him on the Saints, he'll be even better. So that doesn't make sense.
I'm just saying he benefits from having.
No, I mean you could definitely make an argument for DeAndre Hopkins being better than Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
I would.
I don't even.
I'm not saying I'm not arguing that statement. I'm just saying Michael Thomas benefits from having an amazing quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So did Gronk and Edelman for years.
Mm-hmm. I'm not taking anything away from Drew Brees. Like I said, I still think Drew Brees is right. Right now, Drew Brees is better than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers could definitely have a bounce back year because he had kind of a down year, even though they made the NFC Championship.
I mean, I don't really think he had a down year. They were 12-4, 13.
Yeah, I think, but they relied more on the run game, so that's a part of it. But I think
he also was missing his best receiver, Devontae Adams, for most of the season.
No, I know. I'm just saying this year he could definitely have a bounce back year, and people would think differently on that statement. I'm not saying he's
also
bad.
Now he's kind of got a fire in him because they drafted Jordan Love in the first round.
If I'm him, I'm not really worrying about that because he still has so much term, like his contract.
I mean, but
traded.
Yeah, but if they were to get rid of him, just kind of push him out. Like you want to make sure if you're Jordan Love, you don't want to sit behind Rodgers for the rest of his career.
I kind of agree with you. Like I can agree with you on what you're saying. Like I can take back saying like the term thing because when I think about it, I can almost basically assume Aaron Rodgers is going to play every year that he has left like it's a contract year because he's going to want to like try to get his money if he's potentially released or traded.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go to some NBA player comparisons. If you know the players, you can say them. I know you'll know them, but the Tatum jersey behind Nick is probably like one of the slim players.
All right, let's get to it.
So you can just say this year because overall, like it's not CP3 or Kyle Lowry.
CP3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kyle Lowry.
You want Kyle?
No.
I'll go CP3. CP3's working with little, and he's.
I don't know.
Success.
But that also could help your stats.
They don't have little.
Overall, I say CP3, but I think
it's
been more Lowry.
Yeah, but CP3 has Shea, Gallinari.
Is that who you want on your team?
Steven Adams. They have some other players too. Do they still have Schroeder?
Yeah, but like, does that help? Like, that's not like a great team.
No, but I mean that's not a bad supporting cast.
Yeah, I know, but it's a decent supporting cast, and he's playing phenomenal.
No, I'm not disagreeing with your argument. I'm just saying like it's not. I'm saying it's not like he's benefiting from a bad team. Like I'm disagreeing with Nick because he actually has a good supporting cast. So either argument's fine.
I mean, it's really just him and then decent players, which is really the best situation because there's no other star taking stuff away from you, and then you have decent players to give you the ball, and you can pass the ball to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're talking about all time in that argument, it's totally CP3.
Oh, it's no question all time.
All right, next one I have for you.
Wait, no, I just think you didn't give yours. Who would you say?
This year I'd say CP3.
Yeah,
because everyone expected that OKC team to be meh, and they're actually like a playoff team, and they're really good, and they're fun to watch. Devin Booker or Jaylen Brown?
Devin Booker.
Yeah,
like Jaylen Brown is a good guy to have on your team, but Devin Booker is more of like a star.
Yeah, I'm
gonna go with Brown.
Are we gonna talk player wise or just like who would I rather have on my team?
I'm not talking about like how the fact that Jaylen Brown could probably be president. I'm talking about like this season, like their play. This is all based off the current season that's not finished yet.
Brown's having a great season. So is Booker, but I would probably go. I'd probably go Brown, even though
you said Booker then.
Yeah, if it's this, I think I would rather.
Booker's definitely the better player, but if it's who you want on your team,
I'm talking about this season. If you're going off of what you
got this season, who would you? Who would you rather have on your team, like playing this well, or who's like the better skill?
It's just like the thing that we have with CP3 and Kyle Lowry. It's the same question.
Yeah, but no, this is different because Booker's the better player, but I would definitely rather have Brown's play on my team.
I don't know. How did you take the question that I asked about CP3 or Kyle Lowry? What did you kind of assume that I was asking you?
Well, I think CP3 is better, and I would rather have him on my team. But
okay, so then that answers.
It's different when it's two players who are like
right.
All right.
All right, we'll give both. All right, Booker's best player. I'd rather have Brown on my team.
I can agree with that. I think Brown's a better overall player. Like he's more well-rounded. I think he's a better leader. And he's more aggressive with the ball. He's a lot more aggressive with his touches when he gets them, especially because his team's a lot more stacked than Devin Booker's. Like Devin Booker, Devin Booker, you can say. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You can say Devin Booker out of a lot of the like young stars. It's not his fault that his team doesn't have like as much talent. But it's kind of like what Kristaps did in New York. Like he benefited because everyone else sucked, so he put up insane numbers.
Well, yeah.
I get rather having Brown on your team.
D-Book benefits from empty stats, whereas Brown's on a team with arguably at the top of their game, you have 3 other all-star caliber players like this year, if you're including Hayward, because he was averaging like 19 points per game. And he's still putting up like 18 himself. So that's why I'd rather have Brown.
He was putting up 20.
Even that's Just because if you put him in Booker's spot, then he's going to even give you more. And he's way more versatile. You could put him at the 2 or the 3, and he'd just perform the same, and he can guard just about anybody. So,
yeah.
What's your opinion, Nick?
No, I already gave my opinion. I think Booker's the better player, but if you're on a team like the Celtics, if they were to trade Booker for Brown, I don't know if I'd be happy about it. Even though I do think Booker's the better player.
All right, so this is kind of a random one, but it's kind of like veteran players. Right now, who do you think is better? Oh, actually, just answer both questions, just like we just did. Dwight Howard or DeAndre Jordan?
Right now, DeAndre Jordan.
Both DeAndre Jordan.
I don't know, man. I might go Dwight.
DeAndre Jordan. I would go DeAndre Jordan's better, and I'd rather have him.
I'd probably rather have DeAndre Jordan on my team because of the way, like, his attitude and stuff like that, and just like his overall, like, he's a good guy.
Right now, it's definitely DeAndre Jordan. All time, it could go either way.
I don't know. Dwight's just
all time I'd go Dwight Howard, but we're talking about right now. Then it's
I don't know.
Dwight said you give it to DeAndre Jordan.
I'm saying I think Dwight's could probably be the better player right now.
I don't think so.
No.
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Nikola Jokic or Karl Anthony Towns?
I'd probably go Jokic, but that's just this year.
Yeah.
Overall, it's Cat, but this past year, it's definitely Jokic.
I'd go Jokic for both.
I would go Jokic for both too.
Career, you think Jokic has had a better career than Cat?
Oh no,
but I think in the long run, Jokic will have a better career than Cat.
Yeah, but I'm saying now in their careers, Cat.
If I was building a team, I would like you. If I was building a team, I'd like Jokic just because he's.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Passer, he can score the ball in the post. Good.
I agree.
And he's always looking to improve himself. Like, he literally went and he lost weight to make sure he could be a better player. Like, he's put in work, and you can see it. And he plays hard on the court. Cat does too, but Cat's kind of lackluster on defense for his size. You would look at Cat and you'd be like, he must be a sick defender, but he's really not. He's just kind of.
I mean, yeah, he gets some blocks, but I think
he's massive.
If you're saying who you'd rather have right now, though, it's no question it's Jokic.
All right, so next one. This is kind of a random one. I don't know if Nick will even be able to answer this one. Cross, would you rather have Andrew Wiggins or Kelly Oubre? And who's better right now? I personally think it's Oubre because I think Wiggins is just – he's just plateaued and he's just a stat patter and he just gets points.
Yeah, that's tough. I'd probably go Oubre just because I really like his play style and I like I like lefty players.
I think Wiggins is just so passive. His game is just so meh. It's not.
He's very underwhelming for how hyped up he is.
Well, not even that. It's just the way he plays. Is just he's a guy that he has 20 and you're just eh. It wasn't even a, you know what I mean? It was just a bunch of meh, give me points.
I'd go Oubre.
All right, next one. Ja Morant or De'Aaron Fox?
Ja.
Yeah, I'd go Ja too.
De'Aaron Fox he started to show flashes, but then never really built on it.
I think it'll be kind of like Tatum, except it'll be his 4th year. How Fox kind of Tatum was nasty his rookie year, and then nasty, and then he kind of just plateaued in his sophomore year, and then this year was his real jump. I think it'll be that next year for Fox.
I know. I think Fox showed really good flashes, and everybody thought he was going to be and then he just kind of was underwhelming. So Ja's having a great season.
All right,
he's be rookie of the year, no doubt. So.
Yeah. All right, next one I got.
If Zion played all year, he wouldn't be, but
yeah,
he's still having a rookie of the year season.
I mean, you never know. But Miles Turner or Clint Capella?
Miles Turner.
I'd go Clint Capella.
No doubt, Miles Turner.
I don't know. Miles Turner's fallen off. I know he's a really good shot blocker.
Clint Capella is one of the
I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league.
You say underrated, I say overrated.
Clint Capella?
Yeah.
Clint Capella's a perfect center role player big man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If I'm gonna go overall all around player, I'm gonna go Miles Turner because he
even all around player. I'm going Clint Capella.
No, Miles Turner
The
can
guy on
shoot.
my team, I'd also go Clint Capella easily.
Miles Turner can shoot. He can put the ball on the floor. He can drive to the basket. He can defend. He can defend on the perimeter if he
That's
has
true, but
to.
I think that Clint Capella, his game is just overall better. I'm not saying like all around player. I'm just
It
saying
depends
that
on what
he's
offense.
I think
Depends on what team.
Clint Capella would only be good with a really good guard.
Like Capella worked with Harden because he could just, when
Catch
Harden
balls.
drives and pulls into the whole defense, you have Capella right there for like a dump off, which is fine.
Yeah, but think about how good he was in that
Like
scenario.
that's why Steven Adams has just benefited from having good point guards like CP3 and Russell Westbrook because they just drag so much attention and they just dish it
just
to him.
tosses.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's also why he's so good.
All right,
in
so
that
this is
scenario.
I got another one. You guys are going to be biased. I already know your answer. Pat Bev or Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smart, baby. Marcus Smart. No
Yeah,
doubt.
I mean, I don't even know if it's biased though. I'd still take Marcus Smart.
I think
Pat
it's
Bev's good,
weird to
but
say this, but I think Pat Bev's a better antagonist than Smart because he's just
Because Marcus Smart doesn't talk to the media. Pat Bev is just
no. Like Pat Bev like gets in your face and like talks shit. Marcus Smart just like plays his fucking balls
I
off.
would, but I would not want Pat Bev on my team.
Yes, you would. If he was a Celtic, you would love him.
I would, but he's not somebody I would want them to go get because he causes problems. Marcus Smart causes problems, but doesn't cause problems. He will get in your head. He'll do all those little things, but he won't be like blatantly like in someone's face.
Yeah.
Like, well,
All right. So
like
this
that.
is one that you have to think about, but if you're thinking about this season, it's pretty easy. Jason Tatum or Paul George?
Tatum.
I'd agree that Tatum.
I think that's a really good player comparison as to like Tatum, but I think Tatum's going to end up being better. But as far as like early in his career, I could say like Tatum's comparable to Paul George. He has a lot more play style like KD, but still his build's like Paul George.
Wait,
All right.
hold on. I think I can answer this really quick. Let me just share my screen. Can you?
YouTube is the #1.
Oh, you disabled sharing screen. All right. Well, I was going to show the video of Jason Tatum dropping Paul George. Anyway, but
That's okay.
that answers your question.
Yeah. Anyways, Kawhi and LeBron.
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 You could take Kawhi on the defensive side of the ball, but
I think LeBron's a great defender
the
too.
best player in the NBA.
No, LeBron just stopped trying on defense like the last couple of years.
I think he's been better on
I
defense.
wouldn't say
LeBron's-
stop trying, but
LeBron's not the defender that he was. It's not even close.
I don't know. I think the Lakers have been a great defensive team.
Yeah, but LeBron's not that. You can literally look up and see like videos of LeBron where he'll like dunk and then be like, oh, and then sit back on, and then
A lot of
watch
players
ball.
do that though. Like AD probably does that a lot, and he's one of the greatest defenders in the league, arguably defensive player.
I don't know, man. I feel like you can just see it. Like if you watch, you'll see. But all right, Klay Thompson and Bradley Beal.
Klay Thompson.
I'd probably go Bradley Beal.
I'd go Bradley Beal.
I'd definitely go.
Actually, I don't know.
Klay Thompson.
Laura, I didn't really think about the defensive side of that.
Klay Thompson is such
Even
a valuable player.
I think even with the defensive side of that, Beal's a better player.
I would
Klay
say
Thompson's such an underrated defender. It's
he's a
crazy.
great defender. He's one of the best shooters of all time. He's good going to the hoop too. Like,
I think it depends. I think you can argue that
great all
Bradley Beal's stats this year because he's on a crappy team.
Yeah,
But
I
but
love
it's not,
Bradley
it's
Beal.
not really
I think
his
he's a
fault.
great
He's on a
player,
crap
but
team.
no, and I
Klay is-
personally, I want John Wall to come back so then they can have that duo, but they'll never win. Like it'll be just like Dame and CP3. So, or
Yeah.
Dame and McCollum.
Demon CP3 got it.
I meant to say CJ. I said CP3. So,
Yeah.
all right, and the last one, you can consider them same position. Not. They both kind of flex between the 4 and the 5. Bam Adebayo and John Collins.
Damn.
What do you mean this year?
Bam. Bam was an
This
all-star.
year definitely Bam.
I'd say Bam too.
Yeah, that's not really a question.
I just figured because they're both up and coming into 4 and the 5
But I
spot.
mean, if you're talking about overall, like all time, it's probably Collins.
Yeah. But Bam's having
This
a
year,
great
Bam's just
season.
been insane.
All right. Are we gonna wrap it up, or do we want to go a couple more?
No, I think that's good. I mean, all right, well, Thanks everyone watching. Be sure to subscribe.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to watch our other videos.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at offbeat_sports.